plane could be completely unfunctional.
Even if it is functional, we cannot have it, use it. No one here is a pilot, right?
Actually, I am.
You are?
Okay. Is it a
pilot,
military craft?
You've piloted military craft yet?
Yeah.
It's very likely a military craft yet.
But do you have the training, pilot aircraft?
Pilot military craft.
Military craft or military aircraft, George? Yeah.
Oh, okay. Yeah, then if I know that Boone is a pilot, we should head to the aircraft.
To drive a spaceship, though, is pilot voidcraft, okay?
Yeah.
I don't think anyone has voidcraft. So.
Yeah, but
No.
If it's functional, we can travel wherever we want in this planet.
Yeah,
that's
the point. So long as it has fuel,
yeah. So,
let's go for the plane then, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, give me a second just to work something out for a minute.
I picked that up just before this session. Panicking,
really?
Yeah. Just because I came in here like quarter to 2 or something. So yeah.
Just grabbed whatever you thought looked good, yeah.
Yeah.
Good thing you did.
Yeah.
Okay, give me a sec. Okay, so you guys head off in the direction of the aircraft. You have a pretty good idea. Well, you think it's an aircraft anyway. It's a large metal structure that looks like it collapsed. But it bears resemblance to an Imperial aircraft of some description, as in it has wings and things like that. So it's a pretty good guess, is probably right. So you head off in its direction. It's quite a ways off, so you guys have to make pretty slow time getting there. So it's 15 days away. So are you guys just forced marching for 15 days, or are you trying to grab areas to sleep and things like that along the way?
Did you say 15 days?
Yeah.
I thought you said it was 1 day to the next, 2 days to the next.
No. I said it's 15 days to the aircraft, 45 days to the city.
45?
Yeah, and 31 days to the next bunker.
That's 16-hour days, I guess.
Yeah, they're 16-hour days, yeah.
But still, it's we're going to encounter nighttime, so yeah.
Yes, but if we don't use lamps and stuff, and we just try not to...
I don't think that matters. They're not drawn to light. I don't think.
They're not really drawn to light.
Sources or something.
Heartbeats?
Power sources,
you don't know what they're drawn to. You didn't really
Yeah.
You didn't really look into what, like I said, the Mechanicus had a lab in this part of the building where the reactor is, Ficus, and they were studying these creatures, but you never powered it up. I mean, you can do that before you leave if you want to.
Oh,
yeah.
If they have information about the alien, yeah.
Okay, so if you want to power them up...
I thought we'd used all the computers kind of thing.
No, there was this lab at the Mechanicus is different, like I said. So if you guys power that up and have a look through the Mechanicus records, Ficus, if you could make a logic test at +20 for me, you can try and make heads or tails of what they're researching.
All the ones today.
Jesus Christ. Okay. So you get a pretty good idea of what's actually going on here, based upon the reports that the Genitors were filing. And it seems like things are a little different than what they appear, okay? Once the Genitors arrived under the auspices of the Ordo Xenos, they spent a great deal of time researching the bodies and cadavers that were recovered from battlefields, which they expressly record that unless the Imperial Guard handily defeated the entire horde, which was a rare occurrence, the Xenos were known to remove the bodies of their dead and take them all for some purpose that was initially unknown. However, the more basically they went to great expense of manpower and lives to win a very large battle against a large horde of the Xenos, and the recovered bodies were studied. It was noted that while the bodies were being studied, they decayed very rapidly, like in a very advanced stage of decay, far rapid than normal biological decay. While they were studying them, they learned some startling things about these Xenos. None of the internal organs of these Xenos were uniform. Some of them were similar to each other, but others had very bizarre. Some of them had 2 or 3 hearts. Some of them had different lungs. Some of them had lungs in different places. So none of the internal organ structure of these creatures matched really any of the others. They were all very irregular. What they did realize in close testing was that each of these creatures bore a disease, and the disease seems to be very virulent, and it seemed to be common across all of the recovered creatures. What they realized in horror is, from dissecting some of the newer or younger looking of these species, that a lot of their internal organs match those of humans, okay? Or at least humans arrayed in various different ways, like the heart was in the wrong place and things like that. And with a bit more research as the years and the war drew on, they came to a very horrific conclusion. The disease was a genetic mutation disease of some kind that was very advanced and clearly designed by some sort of alien race or intelligence. And it seems that the purpose of this genetic virus was to alter the makeup of whoever it infected to be open and susceptible to basically genetic modification on almost any scale. So effectively, what they guessed is the Xenos that inhabited these planets were the fauna that used to stalk the wilds. Somehow this alien virus got into the fauna of the planet. Tons of them started to warp and attack humans. They then took these humans that they took from the battlefields, infected them with the virus, and then they became these aliens as well. And the virus seemed to allow them to take the limbs or organs of other creatures and simply absorb them into their own bodies. So that's why so many of the creatures look like misshapen, horrific mutants of some description, with like multiple arms or different ways that they look, because the virus simply allows them to like chop off someone's limb, stick it to their own body, and within a few minutes it will grow and attach itself to the body, if you get what I mean. So essentially what you're fighting is the remnants of the human civilization, the Imperial Guard, and the fauna of this planet all meshed into one horrible, horrific virus that seems to just mutate anything it touches. And that's why the planet was abandoned, because the virus is something that cannot be contained. And it's why the planet was deemed inhospitable for human life. So, you're on a planet of genetic monsters.
Hooray.
And yeah, the last conclusion of the Genitors on the planet was that the virus was artificially constructed by some malign intelligence. So everybody get that?
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Any questions? Anything not that clear?
Does it say anything about what attracts them?
Anything that isn't them attracts them. That is sentient life or biological life of some kind. That isn't like, they seem to ignore plants and they eat the same fruit that other people do to sustain themselves. But they're massively xenophobic to everything else that's like organic, that isn't just non-sentient plants, if you know what I mean. So they attack everything. They attack birds, they attack squirrels, they attack bears, they attack humans. Anything that's not, been infected by their virus and is a mobile organism of some kind, they're attracted to it, and they just seem to know where it is, and they attack it en masse.
Terrific.
And the Mechanicus was baffled by how they sought their prey, but they always just seemed to know where it was.
I kind of don't want to go anywhere.
As if they could just sense the organism, and the virus sort of willed them to hunt it at all costs, if you know what I mean. To spread itself.
This makes things worse.
Let's look for a vehicle, or some way to get this fortress to sprout legs and carry us with it.
Oh yeah, I forgot it's a Titan being buried in the ground.
Awesome.
And I have a pilot Titan.
Of course you do.
Yeah, I
Took it
think
just before. He was panicking.
this
Wow.
this is a bigger risk than I thought, but yeah, I still think the best idea is to search for the aircraft.
Yeah, me too.
Oh, you actually... Oh shit, you rolled a 1, I forgot. What's the degrees of success I had on mine for this? Because I didn't think you would get it, but...
But he rolled a 1, oh yeah.
Yeah, I was going to go 4 degrees or more, but I didn't think you would get it. But you have come to a pretty good conclusion as to who activated that beacon, by the way, because this lab has also been used in the last couple of years. And you're fairly certain now that the last person to have used this facility was Carrick. And he came to this world for some reason. And there are logged files of experiments he was doing upon the Xenos of this world, trying to learn something from their biological makeup. How he survived on this planet, or how he even knew about it, is anyone's best guess, or what was on it, but it seems that Carrick 250 years ago activated that beacon.
Fucking Carrick.
Which is probably why his strange sanctum led you here. It was probably one of the ways he got to this world unmolested and undetected.
Maybe there's a portal out. Find Carrick's portal.
Well, you destroyed his folly thing.
Yeah.
So. And banished the demon he had bound to that book.
Okay. Do you
Off
all
to the
agree
aircraft.
To the aircraft.
Yeah.
I also we should do a forced march, never stopping.
15 days forced march without sleep. Ooh.
It's fine, I'll turn my pants inside out halfway through.
That's 240 hours of forced march. I don't think any human could survive that. Maybe a space marine could possibly do half that, but yeah.
I don't mean the all 15 days marching, but sleep, I don't know, 4 hours, then get up, continue.
Yeah, sure. So, as you go along, for the next few days, everybody make awareness tests for me at +10. I presume you guys march, you hide, and dig yourselves into holes as deep as you can when you sleep.
Not that it matters. Is it awareness
say
based
+10?
on hearing?
It's +10, yeah. And it's based on either hearing or sound, anything you want to.
Oh yeah.
I rolled a 90.
Okay, so in the days that you're going by, anyone who passes this test, you see the same strange shadowed shapes that Ficus and Victus claims to have seen before. If any of you see it again, the shape is always different. It's some strange, gaseous, almost hallucination on the, bare periphery of your vision that seems to be stalking you. And you several of you crack off shots in the distance because you swear you saw one of those creatures come out of the distance, but when you turn around and fire, there's nothing there, and the shadow jumps from your visage, And you're all pretty sure at this stage you're either hallucinating or something very weird is going on in this world, but something otherworldly is like stalking you, or God knows what, but something weird is going on. Besides the already weird shit.
Does it have like round ears and talks like this? Aha!
No, it's not Mickey Mouse.
Okay.
It's a good try though. Good attempt.
I'm gonna murder you! Haha!
Yeah. We continue heading through.
Okay.
Can I do a Medicaid test to see if anything is wrong with any of the party members?
Yeah, sure. You can take a sample of their blood, see if they've been infected with something, anything like that, or they have a strange amount of chemical or whatever. Go ahead.
Yeah. Do I get any bonus? Because I know kind of what I'm looking for, because I
unless
use
you
that
have-
lab so well.
Unless you have any equipment that's for testing blood, there is actually like stuff that does that. Unless you do, then it's just base Medicaid.
Okay.
I'm made of lasers, so.
But are you testing our blood? Or
Yeah.
Okay, so taking blood samples from all of them and doing some very basic tests with the field equipment that you have, you only know one thing of interest in all of your systems. The level of serotonin being produced by all of you is extremely low. Like far below normal human standards.
I drink some coffee.
So if anyone doesn't know what serotonin is, you can look it up on Wikipedia.
Neurotransmitter.
I'll even give you the link. Yeah, but that's serotonin. So the amount of that in your bloodstream is extremely low.
So we're all hideously depressed right now.
Yeah, you're like Murdoch when he rolls badly. You all thought that was just simply the horror of being hunted by these creatures and the weird shit stalking you through the night, but now it could be something else. You all had a sense of ill feeling since you got to this planet, and maybe now you know why.
Maybe it's the air or the plants that we ate. Or our bodies fighting the virus.
Maybe.
Okay. I think we cannot do anything about it, so we continue heading through.
Okay, so the days go by in stressed paranoia. Each and every one of you is clearly on edge for quite a large amount of time, so everybody roll toughness. Because the days ahead are lean food, the disgusting food that you have to take off the trees and eat. Constantly watching your back, digging holes to bunk in at the night, making stealth campfires to survive the freezing cold. As the temperature plummets every night. So anyone who fails this gains 1 fatigue, by the way.
I ask Zarkov, do your filthy warp thing. For fatigue.
Snessin.
No, it's not Psyniscience, it's he has a spell that reduces fatigue or removes it.
Oh, sorry, I thought you said look into the warp thing.
No, I said do your warp fatigue thing.
Yeah, I think it's
what do you know what
called...
it's called?
I think it's called Dull Pain. Let me look it up.
Oh, shit.
Yeah,
double
it's,
nine.
it's dull pain, but yeah, roll 2d100. But yeah, with that dull pain, he'll remove all of the people who failed. Yeah, all of them. Okay, so roll another 1d100 for the 95. Okay, so 58. 58 in the first one is falling upwards. We want to do that. Okay, so for a while, when he makes you all briefly get rid of your exhaustion, you all hover in the air for a bit and then fall down. And then the other one is... What's the other one?
46.
46. Psychic Mirror. The psychic's power is turned upon himself. Resolve the power's effects as normal, but the power targets the psyker instead. Should the power be of benefit, it instead deals 1d10 plus 5 energy damage to the psyker, and the beneficial effect is cancelled. armor offers the Psyker no protection against this damage. So the first one would have gone off fine anyway, so just roll 1d10 plus 5.
Oh, 1d10 plus 5.
Yeah, and that's how much damage he takes. Only reduced by toughness.
8 damage then. 5 plus 3.
Yeah. Okay, so he takes 8 what's the toughness?
30.
So he takes 5 damage. Okay. But otherwise, he succeeded, and you guys aren't tired anymore. As the unnatural power of the warp fills your muscles and makes you strong again. Alright, so do you want to heal Zarkov, maybe?
Yeah.
Focus? Alright, go for it.
Wait, I'll try and heal him with my power.
Yeah, exactly. Just do a Medicae rather than more warp shite. Yeah, so that goes off. So what's your intelligence again?
54.
Alright, so he's back to full HP, sorry. Okay, so the days drag on, and it gets very tiring, but then at the dawn of the 15th day, after a night's forced march, I guess, because you guys want to get there as quickly as possible, let me get you there. Yeah, here we go. Okay, you guys finally come upon the wreck of what you were looking for.
Oh yeah.
So if anyone can roll Scholastic Lore, Tactica Imperialis, or Common Lore War, you might know what kind of craft this is.
Nope.
It was Scholastic Law and which one?
War.
Scholastic Lore, Tactica Imperialis, or Common Lore War. You roll Swim. Secret Lore, Secret Tongue Tech doesn't work, Phil. Okay, so Mira knows that this
Ask it what it is.
Mira knows that this is a Vendetta heavy gunship, okay?
Ooh.
And it is a VTOL craft that is commonly used as a heavy assault gunship. Carries like stormtroopers or drop troopers.
Does it need any fixing?
It looks like it's been here for a very long time, and vines have completely overgrown it. If you wanted to take off, you'd need to snap the vines or chop them off before you tried to take off. But other than that, it looks like it was simply abandoned rather than anything else. Maybe its crew was infected and they tried to land, and then the infection spread and they killed each other or something like that. You have no idea. But other than that, it seems to be in almost pristine condition. Its fuel is at 75%. And its armament is fully capable. It just seems like it was completely abandoned, but it landed where it did rather than crashed.
Well, let's remove these vines.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay, so a interesting thing about the Vendetta that you know, it is also void capable. It can travel through space.
Wonderful.
Shit.
Shall we get the shit out of here then?
It does not have a warp drive.
Yeah. And I can't fly in space.
Yeah. Well, you can go into space, but you can't really, you're not very experienced with it, let's put it that way. So if you were to do any invasive maneuvers, you wouldn't be able to roll it, basically.
Well, could I just, like, go into space and, like, go to somewhere that I wanted to, or...
Yeah. You can move between places, but if there's any fighting or anything, you wouldn't be able to do it. So
yeah.
So it has a max speed of 1,100 kilometers per hour. It has an operational ceiling of low orbit, so it can't go between planets. Okay, and its range is 200 kilometers in atmosphere. So you could go.
So it can't go between planets.
It can't go between planets, but it can enter orbit because it's used by the Imperial Navy. So it has to be able to go from their ships to like planet surfaces.
Oh.
If you get what I mean.
Okay.
So it can graze low orbit. Yeah, so it can graze low orbit. That's about it. And it has room. It has a cockpit, a gunner's seat, which is the one right behind you, Boone, there, and then enough room for 8 other people as like troopers.
So it looks like we're going to have to go to the other places to find some other way off this hellhole.
But at least we can fly there. We can fly to the city, for example.
Yeah, at least we don't have to walk.
So you guys spend a couple of minutes chopping the vines off, I guess. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Alright. So, with 75% of its fuel remaining, that means it can go 1,500 kilometers before it needs to refuel. Okay. It says range of 200 kilometers and go 1 kilometers per hour. Yeah, so actually no, the range is triple that. So give me a second to calculate this.
So who's in the gunner seat?
Flo.
Okay, so it has a remaining operational range of 4,500 kilometers. Okay. So you could drive this thing 4,500 kilometers before it runs out of fuel. Alright.
Okay.
So,
Is there any way we can find out where it originally took off from? Is there any logs in the computer or anything?
yeah, it has a simple cogitator that has a flight plan and everything in it. So you can just fire it up and have a look at it if you want to like extensively port the logs, because it has like a place for an adept of the Mechanicus to interface with it and try to learn a bit more details about it. Sure. So you're gonna go ahead and do that.
Yeah.
So roll tech use plus 20. Okay, so you know that this Vendetta class gunship was constructed in the Trian Ecumene on the world of Titanforge, under the auspices of the Mechanicus on that planet. You even see the name of the Magos who oversee the construction of this series of Vendettas. You can tell it was constructed for the Imperial Navy, and it was constructed for Battle Fleet Ixionad. Okay. It took off from a strike cruiser called the Vitae Deliverance that was in orbit, and you know from the logs in the Imperial Guard that was the strike cruiser that was sent here to oversee the war that was going on. It looks like it was sent down on a reconnaissance run of a small bunker to the northwest of your current location. But as it was going down, halfway through its run, it picked up a distress signal from an Imperial Guard detachment and requested orders to go and intercept. They received the okay to do it. They went down, and then after that, all the logs end. It just seems to have landed normally, and then any other clue as to what happened to the crew is lost to time. Okay? That's everything you know about this vehicle. And it seems to have been abandoned in the closing days of the war. Okay?
So where are we headed? To the city?
I say so.
Okay.
Okay, so Boone, go ahead and roll a check to get it up and going.
Oh yeah.
That sounded bad.
Is it plus anything?
It's a common vehicle, so plus 20, yeah. You've probably flown one of these before, apparently. Just a bit.
Ooh.
Okay, so the old engines, flicker to night, the ignitions come off, the VTOL engines spray to life, and slowly you and it go up and into the air and take off. Right, so you take it to cruising just in mid-atmosphere, and I guess you turn it in the direction of the city.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So it will take you the better part of just an hour to reach the city. So is there anything else you guys want to do while you're on the Vendetta?
Is there any way to... does the ship has any Auspex capability?
It has basic auger arrays and vox communications, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I like the low cigar.
I asked Ficus if he can try to detect anything on the aspects. Maybe
Okay.
there's something we missed. I think distance is a factor.
If you're interested in its weapons, it has one hull-mounted twin-linked las cannon and 2 wing-mounted twin-linked las cannons. Okay.
When I find that out, I'm like, are we sure we should be letting the person that seems to be rolling 99 to be our gunner?
Yeah, so this is a twin-linked las cannon, this is a separate twin-linked las cannon, and this is another twin-linked las cannon, so 3 twin-linked las cannons.
Well, I don't have any training to use the mounted weaponry.
I don't think I do either.
Alright. What was the tech used for? Sorry.
Someone asked me to find out something about this ship.
Use
To
the
look
auspex.
around, yeah.
Oh, the aspects, yeah, sorry.
Okay, so, I mean, you scan the immediate area and you don't really find anything of interest that you haven't already found. According to your roll, anyway. Okay. So, you go with a steady burn in the direction of the city, and after about 56 minutes of flight, Boone, you spot off in the radial distance just below you, and the augers, the short distance augers, ping back to you the location of metallic structures on the ground below you, and you see a rather large ruined city that maybe at some point held a few couple 10,000 people, maybe close on 100,000 people, and it's deserted. It looks like an absolute war zone, as if like a very large battle at some point occurred here. But besides that, the whole place looks like a destroyed ruin, like so many ancient imperial cities. So you do like 1 or 2 passes over, I guess, and you don't see any like aliens run out like shaking their sticks at you or anything, so it looks abandoned. But it looks like shit went down here at some point in the past.
Is there any like building that stands out?
There are obvious buildings that at one point probably belonged to the Adeptus of some kind, or the Adepta, like perhaps the Arbitas or the Administratum or other things like that. There is a small sort of landing port to the west of the city with strewn remains of destroyed aircraft, and none of the areas look clear, but you're a VTOL, so you can pretty much just land anywhere that has a solid structure. But besides that, the whole place just looks utterly ruined.
What other places did we have to explore?
There were other bunker systems, but you're only on one side of the planet, so I mean you could just burn in some direction and hope you come up with something else. You don't know the layout of this planet. You roughly know that there's only like 2 continents, one super one, which is the one you're on, a smaller continent to the west. But that would probably use most of your fuel to burn in that direction.
Yeah, seeing that the city is ruined, I don't think there would be any interest on looking around. If there was like a pristine building, something like that, that would stand out, maybe. What do you guys think? Do we go to the other continent?
I don't know. Would there be more fuel in the city for this?
There could be fuel. There's a spaceport just below you, like a small docking area. And it does look like there are tankers of fuel down there.
Yeah,
The
maybe
Prometheum,
restock.
yeah, the Prometheum you need to refuel the ship is probably there. Well, the craft variant Prometheum.
Okay, then we stop there.
Okay. So you guys make one more pass and descend down onto a free area of the tarmac. You're lucky you're a VTOL because there's no way a fixed-wing aircraft could descend without a runway, and the runway is strewn with destroyed ships. Eventually, you guys take a land, and yeah, let me just find the structure. Where is it? Okay, Okay, I don't think I have the map for that. I think I forgot to upload it. Anyway, either way, you guys land on the tarmac, and I guess have a look around and spend a few minutes refueling, yeah?
Mhm.
Okay, so you didn't see it from the surface, or, well, from your up above, but once you're actually on the surface and landed, you see the dead remains of skeletons everywhere. Some of them are, like, clearly civilians, their ragged clothing having decayed and, you know, been destroyed with time. Others are clearly Imperial Guard with their rusted and desiccated las guns still beside them. Most of them seem to have died from various bludgeonings or incisions to various parts of their body through bladed weapons. But it looks like at some point a very large horde of Xenos creatures completely overrun this city, and the virus spread through it like wildfire. Kind of like World War Z, if you've seen that movie. But it looks like it was a titanic last stand before the Imperial Guard abandoned the city.
Yeah, I say that we shouldn't wander too much time in here.
So, after you guys refuel and get back onto the ship, Boone, something interesting happens while you're prepping the ship for takeoff. A readout on the Auspex pings and starts to steadily ping as if like a telemetric reading from the buoy in space is being broadcast.
Okay, I tell
shit, they
Ficus
know
to
we're
take a look at it.
Yep, so Ficus, the buoy in space, is sending a different signal than the one from before.
Oh, can I tech use it to realize what it is?
Yeah, sure, go ahead and tech use to see what's up.
Oh, actually, could I help him?
Yeah, you can, so if you want to assist
please.
him first, yeah.
No.
Okay, Boone tries his best to clear up the signal frequency.
99.
Doesn't seem to manage.
Don't you want to use a tape?
Oh, actually, I'll use the fake
Do
one.
it, do it.
Yeah. Nope,
Ah,
doesn't clear it up much. There's a lot of interference. Because the Auspexes and the Augurs on this ship are not that great. They're not meant for long distance. So go ahead, Ficus. Flat tech use. Okay, so Ficus manages to clean up the auger array, and you get a steady signal to the satellite buoy that was probably, well, you know, was left by the Inquisition in orbit. And you read through its telemetry, and you're a little bit shocked. It says in quite clear and specific auguries, and you double check it to make sure, that a craft has entered orbit around the planet, or is beginning to enter orbit around the planet. You reckon in about a day it will be in orbit around the planet. It's making a burn for the planet though. However, you, like I said, you double check this again to make sure. The craft is not of Imperial design. Okay.
Shit.
Orcs.
You are unsure what design it is of.
Is it a rock?
You can just be certain that at this distance that the configuration of the ship is too strange to be a standard Imperial ship. It might be Imperial, but it's very unlikely. Okay, and at this distance, you have no real knowledge of what kind of craft it is. But it seems someone has picked up your distress signal.
Or something.
Hooray! It can't be worse than this fucking planet, so bring it on.
Oh, I
Oh,
think
unless
Camry.
they are Dark Elders. I don't know, while we wait, we go to the other continent.
Okay. Well, do you want to make a burn for the other continent?
I'm asking the group.
Yeah, I want to see
Yep,
what
I
else is
think so.
here.
We should have more fuel now, right?
Yeah, you have enough fuel to make it to the other continent, yeah. Okay, so making a burn for the other continent will take the better part of 5 or so hours, okay? And we'll use most of the fuel, so you guys settle in for a long trip, okay? Though the...
I go to the bathroom.
Yeah, there is actually
Start
a bathroom
jacking
on this thing. So
8-hour flight.
it's literally just a small little cubicle at the back of the ship. if you know what I mean. So,
Hey Victor, have you ever heard of this thing called the Mile High Club?
oh god, here we go again.
No.
Every fucking flight in every RPG you play, man, is gonna end up like this, isn't it? Alright. So you go on for a while, and you guys notice something. The feeling of desperation, paranoia, and despondence you've been feeling for doesn't seem to have followed you into this ship. And you're not quite sure why. Maybe it's just the fact you're off the ground so the creatures can't find you. But you're not sure what's going on, but you don't feel quite as ill as you did before, or the feeling of bad shit's going to go down, basically. You're not as depressed as you were before.
Nice.
So it could be that the atmospheric scrubbers inside the ship have filtered out whatever weird thing was affecting your serotonin levels. You're not quite sure. So, about 3 hours into the flight, Boone, you once again pick up a ping on your sensors.
Oh, what the shit?
And really do a tech use plus 30 for me, Boone, because you're quite familiar with this technology. It's just a simple allspecs for it.
94!
Do you want to reroll?
Yeah, sure, why not?
Spreading.
Oh, just call me over first, maybe. Okay.
Yeah. You could just ask Ficus to try and clear it up for you and make sense of it if you want to, because he's in the technical seat.
Nope.
Alright, you're good.
Right.
Okay, so you're quite sure, and you double check the readings to make sure. 3 void surface craft have entered into formation, roughly 200, 300, 400 kilometers southwest on a current bearing, heading in your direction. And they're void to surface craft of some kind of like the Vendetta you're in right now. And they're in a formation, and they're heading in your direction.
Oh,
It seems like they might be scouts that were sent ahead of the void craft that is coming into orbit.
yeah.
Can we vox them?
You can try if you want to. They're within Vox range.
We try to help them.
Okay, so Ficus, give me a tech use plus 20. Try and establish communications with the mysterious craft. Okay, so you just about break through the interference, and what message do you want to send to them?
Basically, who are you?
So a few seconds go by, and let me see. Let me get the message for you.
Give us them flash kits. So we can...
Show us what you got.
It's Mad Guts. He's hunting us.
Down on the floor. Hi guys, it's Poopy Butthole.
No, they
You
respond.
don't have any memories of me.
Okay, so the message you receive in response is the following. Acolytes of Silence beckon. In fealty to the God Emperor, our undying Lord, and by the grace of the Golden Throne, in the name of the Ordo Malleus and the Inquisition, I call thee Diablos, and in the testimony of thy crimes I submit this carta. May Imperial Justice account in all balance, the Emperor protects. You were told to lay down your arms and prepare to be acquired.
What
not bad.
the Diablos thing is?
It means they've declared you heretic.
We were
Yes.
pretty much declared heretics the moment we set foot on this planet.
Yeah, seeing that we are, I am at least a cleric, and I have very good faith on the Imperium and God Emperor. I tell Boone
so that's
to.
actually the thing they've just said to you is a very specific judical thing. and there's actually a response to it that you can make that says, "I hear full well thy charge and thy words, and make my submission. May imperial justice account in all balance, the emperor protects." That's the reply that they formally expect you to send back.
Yeah, I send that report, that phrase, and I ask where they want to acquire us.
Okay, so they tell you to land where you are, and they will come to you.
Okay, I ask Gabriel to land.
Yeah, put her down.
So you guys put it down, and when you land, a few minutes later, the three large sort of gun cutters of a similar design to Imperial ones, but with extensive modification, bearing the seal of the Inquisition on the side of them, land, and out comes a large contingent of what can only be described as stormtroopers, and then following behind them is a man in brass-coated armor bearing the seal of the Ordo Malleus that is undoubtedly an Inquisitor. He approaches you when you come out, Invictus, and he hands you what you know is called a carta, which is basically a scroll that essentially says you're going to be judged for heresy, okay? And he hands it to you and says, "Dost thou accept this carta from my hand?" And then you can say, "I accept it into mine, for that I may prove it thrice false."
Okay? I do accept.
Does thou state thy innocence now at the going off, he asks you?
I
state it true and clear, may it be so writ down, etc.
Basically, I didn't understand anything.
Yeah, it's just basically they're asking you to accept the thing and you deny the charges, etc., etc.
Oh yeah, I say that I'm innocent.
Okay. So he just nods and says, finally, in Low Gothic, "I expected as much. Thank you for avoiding unpleasantness." And then he just sort of looks and says, "Take them into the ship and bring them back." And with that, they put bags over your head and everything goes dark. And they take you.
Is there a toilet on board the ship?
Yes, man, there is a toilet on the ship.
They're not letting you use it.
Excuse me, guard. Have you heard about?
Okay. So the man who acquired you introduces himself as Inquisitor Ormo of the Ordo Malleus, and that he has been sent to bring you to judgment on Ixionad, to face charges of aiding the known heretic Diablos Karak in his scheme to bring ruin to the Ixionad sector.
Bullshit.
Right, so that's the end of this session.
Woo!
Now I wonder what happened on that sector.
Blew up, I guess.
So you guys are going back to Ikabar here. And what's become of the interrogator and everything else, you do not know. And you've never met this Inquisitor Orzma before. Or Xena, sorry.
Well.
Experience? No?
Yep. So there is 200 experience.
Yeah, we rank up. Right?
No.
It's not on the 5K?
It's rank up at 6K.
Remember, you use the advanced one from what's it called? I'm gonna look it up.
It's on the
Ascension.
Inquisitor. Yeah.
That's an Ascension.
Ascension.
We're using the one on that because you guys will eventually reach the rank where one of you will become an Inquisitor, and the rest of you will become his personal cadre. So
Cool.
it's different. Let me just look it up.
Shit.
Yeah, so if everybody can open up the book called Ascension, the PDF called Ascension, in Dark Heresy.
Yeah.
And then go to page 10. Actual page 10 of the book. Okay, and you'll find at the top left the new ranking system. And it goes up to 16, so if you're over 5,000 experience spent, you're now ranked 6, okay?
Okay.
Oh, this is the same I had though. Like,
Yeah, it's probably been updated for the later books. So. I guess it's likely Victus will become your Inquisitor then, at some point.
yeah.
When you reach rank 8.
Okay, well, thank you for the session, Warren, and everyone that came, and everyone that watched. Thank you very much.
Thanks, it's been fun.
So next week,
Bye-bye.
we will see what happens to you guys, and whether or not you will be killed as heretics, and what happened after Carrick was killed.